Shazam. Fire noise.
Fire noise.
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 193 of the STS Guys. I am Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the STS Guys, a weekly podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, talk about how Nate has a life and we don't. Anything nerdy and cool. What is going on this week, guys?
I don't know. I guess it's been a week.
It's been a week.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, work-wise, it has been
It's
one
been a
hell of a
nightmare.
week.
Yeah.
I have not done anything. I have not bought in anything. I have done nothing all that special.
Yeah, it was funny because I said me and Scott were supposed to go out to dinner on Thursday night, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't happening today. I'm like, no one needs to be around me right now. I'm angry.
That sucks. We were supposed to go to lunch on Friday, but that didn't happen. Yeah. It's been a week.
It's been one of those weeks where I'll show the bottle here. This at the end of the day is definitely going to be well appreciated. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I got nothing for it's been a week. I literally have nothing. I literally spent.
I know Larry bought some stuff, so
I did. It's nothing exciting, but since we have nothing, since it's a very thin, it's been a week. We can talk about this Marvel Legends that I got.
Ooh,
because that's fun.
It's so hot.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
It's so hot.
It's not that hot.
It's very hot.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. That was hot. That's hot. That is really hot.
So hot.
So hot.
It's the Spider-Man No Way Home integrated suit that I pre-ordered on Amazon a really long time ago, and it showed up this week kind of unexpectedly. So I think I've got there's a Miles Morales in this wave. I've got some other ones pre-ordered that have not shown up yet, but this new one for the new Spider-Man movie.
I do have to say, you pre-ordered from Amazon. That's a very nice looking package for an Amazon one.
For anyone that is listening to this on audio, it was a completely intact box. It did not look like it got hit by a steamroller at any point, which most of the things that I order that I want to be in a pristine condition usually show up in.
Yeah, and at a minimum, right? Amazon always ships figures and stuff in a box that's too big, and this one definitely came in a box too big. It's got, the package is in pretty good shape because usually they shake around a lot and stuff, but no, he's.
The last one,
I'm gonna take him out of the box, but the box is in nice shape for right now.
The last thing I ordered that I wanted to come in a clean box, right? I can't remember what the item was, but I do distinctly remember the thumb hole for where somebody grabbed the box to potentially put it in the hole. They put their thumb through the cardboard in the box. So I have this just normal box with a thumb hole in one side that they whoever it was turned into this had their iron grip and just brah.
They hulked out a little bit and
they hulked the box.
It's for that speed grab. They were just letting you know. Guess what? You know what? They put there something for super grip, so that way when you get it at home, you can grip it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got nothing else.
I didn't know where you're going with that. To be honest, I was like, I'm waiting for you to finish, but
I don't know where I was going.
You lost the track. All right, no, it
I've had a slightly little bit to drink, so
I know I was with you for a large portion of that time.
Yeah, but I continued.
Yeah, me too. All right.
That's all I got. I think I bought. We've talked about this before. I'm trying not to buy music on vinyl, but I got three. I got 3 albums this week, but that's not that exciting. I got the Orange City soundtrack. I've got Jack's Mannequin, and then Ed will remember. Ed's in the chat. NBC put out a Mouse Rat album that was up for pre-order for a really long time. Like Mouse Rat, like Andy, Chris Pratt, from Chris Pratt's band from Parks and Rec. They released all the songs that they played on that show. So I got that this week too after a really, really long time.
Well, that's cool. You have a album from a fictional band.
Yeah, exactly. But so there's a new Parks and Rec podcast that Rob Lowe and one of the writers is doing called Parks and Recollection. And I just listened to the episode. It's like episode 6. Chris Pratt was actually on there, and I guess NBC was like, "Hey, you want to like promote this thing?" And he's like, "No, you like already started like releasing it and stuff, and I'm not getting paid for this, right? Because they recorded that stuff a long time ago, and it's part of the TV show, so they're not getting anything extra for it." So he's like, "No, I don't really want to do that. Thanks." Yeah. So it's right, kind of like I feel like NBC ran with it, but they didn't get like Pratt's permission or any approval or anything. Like, he didn't even know they're going to make a Mouse Rat album, but they did.
Like, I'll have to go back and watch that because I can't remember. Like, I remember them playing music.
Yeah, it's like short, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't remember they had enough songs to really make an album though. So like, I would have to go back and listen for the number of songs that they play.
Yeah, I think there's at least like one every season. And one thing I didn't realize that I learned from that podcast is like almost every song talks about spreading your wings and like spread your wings and fly, which they definitely mention in like the 5,000 Candles in the Wind, Little Sebastian song. But I guess that's like an ongoing, like a running joke that they threw in there. That
have to put it in a song. It's required to be in the song.
Yeah. So it's clever. If you
makes sense if you know Andy's character, right? That he would do something like that.
Yeah, if you like Parks and Rec, it's on Spotify too. You can listen to it. I've listened to a couple episodes of that new podcast. It's pretty good. They've got some good insight. The Chris Pratt one was interesting, right? Because his character went from like he was supposed to be written out at the end of season 1 because he was just a guy who fell in the pit, and they liked him so much that they kept him on and made him one of the major characters. So just like stuff like that's interesting if you really like that show. There we go. We talked about Parks and Rec. That was unexpected.
Yeah.
But we got anything else? Like tomorrow's Halloween. Anybody doing anything Halloween-y?
I mean, I have a child, so it's trick-or-treating.
Yeah. Now, did you go trick-or-treating last night? Or no, tonight? Saturday the 30th? Because Halloween's on a Sunday. It's a big debate whether or not trick-or-treating should occur on Sunday Halloween or Saturday the 30th tonight.
Yeah.
Did you see any trick-or-treaters? Because
there's no trick-or-treaters, and if they ring the doorbell, you're not getting anything.
But the little kids can't stay out late on Sunday. It's a school night.
Sure they can.
Yeah, sure they can. It's Halloween. Come on.
I don't know why. I don't know if you guys saw like all the Facebook neighborhood groups. Like people
that
asked over and over and over and over again, and people shot them down. Like
that is a hubbub. Like it's like everyone's all in arms.
Why is it even a question though? If it was a Tuesday, nobody's like, "Hey, Halloween's on a Tuesday. Do we do trick or treating on a Saturday?"
So I got a random story about that though. That I have been somewhere where Halloween was moved, and
really?
So years and years ago, I was, for a job, was stuck in the little teeny tiny, albeit shitty town of Artesia, New Mexico. If you wonder where is that, it's a little turd stain on the map just south of Roswell. Was there in October, and they had going up into Halloween, and I believe it ended up being on a Friday that year. There was also the high school of that town was playing a football game that night. So all the families and all the kids would basically be at the football game for the evening. So the town pushed Halloween to November 1st at the time.
Wow.
So that the town agreed. They're like, we'll watch the football game on the 31st, and we're going to do trick-or-treating on the 1st. And no shit, like the town agreed. Just town agreed. I was like, cool. We'll do trick-or-treating on the 1st. The weirdest shit ever.
That is weird. I see, that makes sense to me though, right? If the entire town is going to agree, like, hey, this is what we're doing, and for a reason, not just we feel like doing this on the 1st rather than the 31st, right? They all agreed that football was more important than trick-or-treating, which it feels like a very Texas thing. But
Texas.
I guess New Mexico likes football too.
Yeah, right. And it's on the Texas edge of
East New Mexico.
You go El Paso and then basically go straight up. So it's a little edge of Texas and then up, right?
Okay.
So yeah, but still, as I will say, definitely was the weirdest thing. Being in a town that was like that, there was a lot of weird things, but that was one of the things that really threw me back. I was like, wait, you're just gonna pause trick-or-treating till the next day, and everyone agreed to this? So
it's crazy. I can't believe there's a New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yep. Episode 193. Yeah.
Can that be the episode title? I can't believe there's a New Mexico.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
Definitely have that one on there.
It's right. It's right up there with last week's third base and another Scott classic. Like, this is the weirdest Foo Fighters concert I've ever seen. That's one of my favorite titles from a couple of weeks ago too.
I like it.
I come up with good ones. I come up with random stuff to throw in there, waiting for us to say something dumb during the podcast to then rename it.
I forget where the Foo Fighters one came from or why we were even remotely talking about the Foo Fighters, but yeah.
It was a good sentence to bring out, right?
That's great. Plus, I like doing like musical related titles on Spotify. That way, if somebody's like searching for the Foo Fighters, they might happen to stumble across us.
I'm sure that we're on that top 10 list.
Oh, absolutely. When you type in Foo Fighters, yes,
we should be. Why not?
We should be. It's like Dave Grohl and then us. Like that's just it, man. And the cool on the list of cool people, we're number 2.
Oh, Dave Grohl,
that dude.
But you know what? The thing is Bingo Square. I can't talk. I'm sorry.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency. There you go. Like.
Oh, I'm like, where are you going? Hold on, I got the bingo thing.
Bingo.
No,
I didn't know if you were pausing to let me hit the button, or if I was like, do I need to wait to you go?
That is the one thing I did buy this week. I bought another graphics card.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah. I did see your picture.
To mine some more crypto.
Yeah, crypto's crypto's this weird thing, right? Where like it has these weeks where it just gets super popular and super hot, and prices just skyrocket. And this is one of those weeks.
Yeah, like
it's good.
Me and fellow podcaster said Mike from Talkin' Pops. So I said last year, I said there was the whole popular thing with the Dogecoin.
Yeah.
But now the new popular dog coin is the Shiba Inu coin.
Yeah.
Who, some person may have made a whole bunch of money on stupid Shiba Inu coin.
Nice.
So stupid.
Yeah.
It literally makes no sense whatsoever. But I'm like, okay, if this few bucks can give me, a few hundred.
Yeah, it's like doubled, didn't it? Like this week, at least, or maybe more.
Literally, since from the time I bought it to now, it's gone up 700%.
Yeah, wow, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's crazy. Bitcoin's just shy of $62,000 right now too, which is ridiculous. I have a very, very small amount of Bitcoin that I bought when it was like less than 36. So like, that was earlier this year. It was down to in the 30s, and now it's above 60 again. Like it will be crazy. I said if the predictions hold true, which it seems like I said, it's following the same pattern as it was last year. Literally, like I said, this year we're going to be in a repeat pattern of what happened last year, right? Where this huge crazy run. Like I said, with all cryptos, this that. But this isn't a cryptocurrency podcast. I felt I needed to bring out the Bingo Square just because I did buy the graphics card to mine some more crypto.
I happened to be mining. I said, the Shibu Inu coin
As we
Nice.
speak.
as we speak. So in the past 2 days, I don't know, I've mined, 1.2 million coins.
Wow.
Make it
Wow.
rain.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. I was happy to see that Safe Moon was back up, and I'm back to even on Safe Moon. That's huge.
It's always good when you see that go down here. Oh no, I lost money.
It went way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally it's one of those things you literally just hold it and let people FOMO on it, and then I said
Yeah.
people sell it, and then basically you get fees off their sales, and like literally I've gotten an additional like 4 or 5 million Safe Moon
Yeah.
coins literally just by doing
Same.
nothing.
Yep, same.
Yep.
Which is crazy too, right? Like,
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay, cool. I've got millions more because you guys sold.
Yep.
So come on, Safe Moon.
But yeah, cryptocurrency. Oh, Ed's comment: Bitcoin is fine. What do you guys take on this NFT crazies? NFTs are awesome.
I can't
Man.
get it. I can't get in on the Funko NFTs. I missed the Freddy Funko one this week. I didn't even know it was happening Thursday, I think. Didn't even know. Totally missed the announcement until after it was sold out. I tried for the Spastic Plastic one like the week before. Didn't get in. Tried for the first ones they did, like the Big Boy and I forget what the very first one was. Right, I tried for those. Wasn't able to get in. I was like 10,000th place in the line for the Funko stuff. So didn't work out for me, but I saw a lot of other people getting it because the Funko ones are fun because they get the physical products if you get the rare stuff, and people are getting the Funko soda. Matt from Pop Paragon from MJ Pop World, I know, got like the skeleton looking Freddy. So a lot of people are getting stuff, which is cool.
I said I am all for the NFTs. Like I said, what was it last weekend? Hasbro had, like I said, the Hasbro Pulse had their Hasbro Con, right? Or
Yeah.
whatever the hell it was called. So I said I bought this Power Rangers Resort NFT. So it's basically the
All right.
first NFT from Hasbro.
Okay, that's cool. I did not see that. It's Power Rangers digital Zord. Okay,
Which
cool.
I guess they love using the picture of the toy.
Yeah, it's basically a picture of a toy. Interesting.
However, though, right?
But I like how they're advertising this. Like, do you get the toy like along with it? Because it has too many pictures of the toy in different shapes.
So you can redeem it,
Oh, okay.
but here's the thing: it's stupid to redeem it. Like I said, this thing's already $2,000.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. So then in that case, I don't mind mentioning the price. The price says $199.99.
Yeah.
Sold out. But it's gone up 10 times that because people missed out. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
People are crazy about those Transformer figures, though.
Yeah.
People love them NFTs.
Yeah, and that's the first one. Okay, I get it. I mean, that's way more than like a Freddy Funko Soda NFT is gonna go for. But
Oh no, are you
cool.
kidding me? Like I said, you know how much it pained me a little bit to spend $200 for missing
it's a
something,
lot. Yeah.
so for something that wasn't real. I'm like, but you know what? Since this is the first one and it's from Hasbro, this was going to
Might
be a
as well.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's big. Like, that's the biggest company I know of that has actually brought out like and gotten on the NFT train right so far. Like, I don't know another big huge company that's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do some silly thing like that. So it's cool to see that this might be more of a trend in the future.
Yeah, so I'm like, I have to jump on this just because I said I know it's going to be a thing,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you know how many they made?
I think like, let me see here.
It was enough where you were able to get one, right? Like it.
Oh no, this was literally right place,
You,
right time.
okay, so you tried. All right.
Yeah, I actually did try.
You made an effort. You're like, I need to get this Transformer.
Yeah, I think they did like 5,000 or maybe 10,000 of them.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
Yeah, so it's quite a bit, but like I said, but it being the first one from
Yeah. Well, it's I don't know how the Hasbro ones work exactly, but the Funko stuff, right? It's not the most easy process to figure out how to buy this stuff sometimes and sell and all that.
It is
stuff,
incredibly difficult. Like I said, literally,
yeah.
if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna screw. Like I said, you're gonna screw yourself out of money.
Yeah. So that's why, especially being the first one, there's Hasbro people out there who are probably trying, and they didn't realize what they were doing, and they got screwed over.
Yeah,
that means they have to
because
spend $2,000 on it later.
Yeah, because this one literally you had to buy. Like I said, it's an interesting one of how you had to redeem this, right? So you had to basically buy it. Then they emailed you a link, and then you took the link, and then that link gave you a code, and then you basically had to download this other app, put this code on this on this other app, which then basically opened up another website where you then pasted this other code. Like you literally had to jump through.
You'd have an easier time finding Carmen Sandiego.
I would have had an easier time buying like crack off the dark web. Like it was ridiculous. Like I said, it was ridiculous on how to get there. Like, and like I said, you jump through all these different hoops and all these different things, right? Just to try to get this. I'm literally basically like said, jumping through all these hoops to really try to spend my own money. Like it's ridiculous.
It shouldn't be that hard. But you earned it. You earned.
I did. I said I did earn my Power Rangers that day. I did earn my Zord.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, that's right. I keep saying Transformers. It looks like a Transformer.
They basically were.
It is a Power Ranger. That's cool, man. I bet there's Transformers coming soon though, because they just made a lot of money and they can sell more of them next time and
there's
make more money.
There's going to be some Turtles. There's going to be
Hasbro has great stuff.
Transformers. There's with all the basically every toy from our childhood, they basically own at this point.
Pretty much.
So, like the options are endless, right? For them to be able to bust out a coin and be like, "Oh, we're going to do this thing," and you could hold on to it. You could redeem it for this toy or whatever. Like, it's going to be a thing.
That and like I said, I can't wait to place it in my digital house in the metaverse too. So
yes.
There we go.
That's gonna be a whole nother level once that actually happens, and you could put those out in your digital house.
A toy. You have your real life collection and your online collection that you can show off.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's totally going to be a thing.
Oh, absolutely.
It's totally going to be a thing, and so I am literally crawling around and been doing, I said, research. Like, so this is completely not a Halloween episode.
No, we'll get to Halloween stuff.
But I'm like literally anything that has anything to do with basically gaming or there's a couple popped up metaverse tokens that are basically metaverse type projects that people are doing.
Oh, okay.
So I've been buying some of that crypto, just in the event, right? Just in the event.
Basically, what we're going into is
what is the metaverse?
So here's all it is the whole announcement thing is the metaverse concept is basically, if you've all seen the things, it's the Oasis.
It's Ready Player One.
It's Ready Player One. They're trying to make the Oasis, which I am all for.
It's cool, man. Did you see? Did you see? I think it was part of that same announcement. Facebook did the live. Mark Zuckerberg had this really nice, kind of presentation that they walked through a lot of different things. But one of the things they talked about was San Andreas, like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas,
a virtual
Oculus,
VR,
a VR San Andreas.
I am so excited for a VR GTA.
It's pretty cool.
Just over the moon, right?
So now you can really punch those.
Right.
Steal cars, all the fun stuff from Grand Theft Auto, the guns, because the best part of those Grand Theft Auto games was just that open world and all the little details and stuff. And now you can do it first person virtual reality
and be able to sit and drive and then get out and shoot gun. The number of games. I was excited when they
got some hot coffee. I wanted the hot coffee scene.
There's that. I was really excited about them when they brought out the Resident Evil 4, where they optimized it for VR and you can play, but you can still do the dumb shoot the axes out of the air or whatever from the game, right? But then GTA got announced. I was like, well, shit, fuck Resident Evil. Like, I'm going GTA.
I like Ed's acronym.
It's pretty cool, man.
Not fucking tangible.
Yep. So, but Jeremy, you brought it up. Tomorrow is Halloween, so let's get into some spooky shit, shall we, gentlemen?
Spooky.
Spooky. Yeah, let's get into some
spooky
shit.
Remember a really
What? Sorry.
what?
My buzz is starting kicking. I did get something in the mail. I did get something in the mail.
Cool.
I said I got my Freddy glove. I said in the mail.
Oh yeah.
And it's Halloween themed, so fuck it, yeah. So you got the glove.
So I did get the glove. Two things I said, two observations. One, it's probably the most realistic thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And B, it is sharp because I did cut myself a couple different times.
When so here's what I need you to do, because you sent me the photo of you cutting yourself. Here's what I need. When you send that to Robert Englund, I need you to not kill this man when he's unboxing whatever it is that you send him to sign. So will you please put a big warning, this is sharp on there before you send it to Mr. Englund so that he doesn't die when he goes to take it out of the box?
Yes.
I
will most definitely do that. No, because I'm prop rep, all right, yeah. Like I said, and then it's on the box, recommended, only for 18 plus. I'm like, yeah, it's just because it's collectible. This is right.
Pointy.
Yeah, so
it's at least pointy.
Yeah,
you could poke your eye out.
Yeah, so I'm taking it out of the box and undoing the stupid little twist ties, and I pull it. I'm like, oh shit, that thing's sharp.
Got that.
And then you had to try it on, and then I'm like,
oh yeah.
And then I'm trying it on. I said I have big gargantuan hands, and so I said it doesn't fit the best. But I'm like, I still got to try it on because I said it's Freddy glove.
Yeah.
You're doing the whole O.J. Simpson thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit.
If it don't fit, you must have quit. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. But it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. So if you follow me on the old IG, on the old Instagram, like I said, I did add. I said a story, I think, there at some point in time during this week.
I think so. I don't know. You sent it to us. I don't know if you put it on your Instagram.
I don't think I did. Oh, maybe I did.
I think you texted us.
Yeah. And then I think that did I text you, Larry, too? About about me cutting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
I was like, oops. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Ed says he didn't see it. I don't think you posted it. You just sent it to us.
Yeah. I will post it up. But anyways, Halloween.
Halloween. So exactly, it gets a lead in. So we got to start because Jeremy, we started talking about stupid horror movies. So I think that's what I think we need to go into, right? Is the horror. Let's talk some horror movies. I love to talk horror movies. It's one of my favorite kind of genres of movie. They're never good, but in terms of quality, I don't know the last time I ever saw a horror movie. It's that was a great movie, but they're fun, right? They're good. So Jeremy brought up a point though before the podcast where we started talking about horror movie remakes, and I posit that Jeremy has a contender, but I'll let him bring that one up. I still don't think it's as good as the original. But has there ever been a horror movie remake that was actually better than the original? Because we've had Nightmare on Elm Street.
Don't even bring up the remake of that because that was hot garbage.
That was garbage, right? You got the Friday the 13th, Last House on the Left. Just tons of horror movie remakes. None of them
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, how many times, right? I don't know any of them that I would be like, that was better. I'm glad they did this.
Yeah.
So but Jerry, I know you had brought one up that you think is better. So I'll give you the podium, I guess, to plead your case to the masses.
My contender said for a remake being better than the original was the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. Just because, right? Like I said, and the reason simply why is because I said the original movie was supposed to be, a bunch of messed up, mutated, radiation hillbillies. The remake just took it to the nth degree, right?
It
like I said,
did.
It's the only movie that I've ever watched where I was the person I was with, like, you got to shut this off. I can't watch this. I'm like.
Yeah. So I will give you that they ramped that factor up, right? It is definitely unsettling.
Yes.
But I still don't know if I would say that I think it's better than the original. It has that over the original, but I still think the original was executed better. Because I feel like the Hills Have Eyes definitely tried to lean into that shock factor a little too much and really let some of the rest of the story lack, right? Instead of it being the thing, it's like, oh, the soldiers at the thing, and it's like, we're gonna show us live rape, and like, Jesus, like, I think they went for that over the.
So, the reason why I mentioned this, right, is because I said you have the remakes that just tried to basically do more story driven, right? So, like, for example, like you brought one of the titles you brought up earlier, Last House on the Left. Last House on the Left, the original one was super messed up. Like I said, literally, I said the mom in that one was probably the most messed up killer. Most messed up, like the killer. Like, she just go down by the lake and giving the dude a Hummer, bites his thing off.
Yeah.
And
it's one of the few horror movies that you actually root for the killer.
Yeah.
You're like, I want the killers to win. Like, at the time, right? So,
but then, like the new one, they tried to go more story, right? They tried to, drive that home. Let's a little bit more story. The coolest thing in that one was the first death and the second death, which is the first death with the dude's hand in the garbage disposal. That was that was Aaron Paul. That was all. I was.
No way, from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. And then the last dude who died, when the dude took the door off the microwave, threw his head in the microwave. Spoiler warning, but it's a movie that's been out for years.
But here's the thing: is for anybody who's ever, I don't know, used a microwave, to get it to turn on without having the door on it takes special intervention, right? You have to jerry rig that shit. So the fact that they're just like, no, if the door's not shut, like, no, there's a trigger in there.
He jammed a screwdriver in there.
Yeah.
He jammed a screwdriver in there. Like, they're going for that realism.
It went for the realism. Let alone that every microwave is required to have two independent ones to prevent that from happening. Anyways, it's those things that break in movies. I love it.
The one thing, here's the one question I'm curious about, just because I know Larry is not a horror movie guy. What is the movie? I said, either present day or growing up. What is the movie that just literally scared the shit out of you? Like, what? Like I said, I watched the movie and this was, this was extremely frightening to me. I wanted to go home, rock in the corner, or go underneath blankets with a flashlight. I said flashlight, not flashlight.
Either one works, really. Depending on age, either one works. Larry, if you need a minute to think, I've talked about this before. Jeremy knows the answer.
I don't really have one. Like, I don't think I really saw any horror movies when I was little to traumatize me. Like, I remember I was older, right? Like late teens or early 20s. Like, I remember watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, stuff around that era. But I don't think there were any that actually scared me because I didn't watch Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 6. What was yours, Scott?
So it was, surprisingly, I was very young at this point. I just had to look it up because I forget the year when it came out. So it was 1988 when this came out. So I was probably 4 or 5 when I watched it. Was Critters 2.
Oh, yeah.
That movie, for whatever reason, to this day, I can still remember parts of that movie that I saw when I was like 5. It terrified me. So me and my brother's rooms at that point were in the basement of the house, right? So it was a fully furnished, like finished basement.
Okay.
That's where me and my brother's rooms were. And it was down the end of this kind of hallway that would be kind of dark. And I was convinced there was something in that dark because of the Critters movie. There was some of them little furry fucks in that closet or in the hallway somewhere, or the storage room at the end, that were going to get me. It terrified me for years. I watched it the other day and I was like, I don't know why this scared me as much as it did for a kid.
Because you were 5,
right time,
35.
right place. Like, it got me as a kid. I was like, this is terrifying.
The funny thing is that me and Scott had the same bet. Was like scary because I was like, because I literally remember. I'm gonna get really personal right here for a second. So I remember I said vividly, right? So this was a sleepover, and so like it was with a sleepover with, like I said, with a whole bunch of my friends. I think it was like 7 or 8 at the time, right? So it wasn't actually the year that it came out, but it was like 7 or 8 at a time. Where the parents literally had the host parents, right, had questionable like parenting skills, or questionable
they didn't have many rules.
They didn't have any rules,
right? It was
like it was like if your parents actually knew what was going on, they would never send you over to these people's house.
Drink a lot of Mountain Dew, go in the backyard, smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Right?
Who cares?
Yeah.
What you want.
But no, it was one of those things to where, like I said, we had started playing Mega Man, and then I said the parents had come home, from the good old Blockbuster, and they like, hey, I said we got all the movies. I said that you wanted, and in there, I said, was Critters 2. I remember watching that. I said we were all. I said there's like 6 or 7 guys. I said, right, or kids, right, at the time. I said they were over at this guy's house, and I literally, like I said, went to bed. Like I said, and like I didn't sleep the entire night because I was like waiting for basically the big ball of critters to come and roll me over.
Honestly, that's what it was for me. I still remember the big ball that just rolls over the person, and they're a person. The ball rolls over them, and they're a skeleton.
Yes,
right. Like that was like as a kid. I have a second one though that also got it a little bit. Do you guys remember The Gate? 1987's film where the gate to hell opens in this kid's backyard.
The funny thing is, I said I had forgotten about that movie until I actually rewatched that maybe like 8 or 9 months ago, just because I'm like, it popped up on Netflix. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, they have The Gate. Yeah. It's
really weird.
It's a really weird movie.
For bingo square purposes, I've never seen this. I don't even know what it is. I'm just looking at this weird like alien dude who's
like the little claymation alien things.
Oh, he's claymation.
You got a young Steven Dorff in that movie. That was another one that like I watch it all the time, but as a kid, it different. I think for some reason as a child, little stuff surprisingly scared me because I'm thinking about this. They're little, right? You got critters, they're little. So apparently small things scared me as a child. Ghoulies, another movie, scared me as a kid, but is utterly ridiculous as an adult.
Yeah, and The Gate too, right? Like I said, I think the funny thing I said about that specific movie was like literally like it made you fear, like I said, anybody who had like any type of like hole with a board covered like in their backyard,
right?
Because
it made you're like, why is that covered? Why is that hole covered? Yeah, and it says Goonies. No, not Goonies. Ghoulies.
Ghoulies.
Oh,
I heard
Goonies too. I thought you were afraid of sloth or something.
No, well, no. Ghoulies. If you ever seen it, the cover is iconic. Like there is very few. God, we're gonna go all over the place here, but there are some VHS covers I remember because I saw them at Blockbuster all the time when you're going through and picking your movies.
Oh.
And Ghoulies is the one that has the little like
Green-
scrawny looking monster
Yeah, that's a
sitting in the
goblin
toilet.
guy. Yeah.
Goblin in the
that
toilet,
guy.
right?
Yeah.
So that movie also was that is good.
Oh,
Jeremy brought up another.
tagline. The tagline for Ghoulies is "They'll get you in the end,"
Yeah.
and he's poking his head out of a toilet.
Yeah, they definitely
It's a
lived
good
on the
butt
puns.
poop joke.
Yep, it is. So yeah, those. I mean, as a kid, I think that's why I got scared a lot. I watched a lot of horror movies as a kid, and I think that's what got me. But Jeremy brought up another movie that I actually don't know if I've ever seen, but when I looked it up, because I was like, have I seen this? The picture for it is The House. And I didn't remember this was a thing, but I remember the picture because it's the disembodied like zombie finger ringing the doorbell on the cover, right?
It's
And it
called
was
The
one that-
House.
No,
And
just
it's
House.
called House.
No, just called House.
House.
Yeah. 1985 House.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Apparently everyone heard
This
Goonies, so
finger.
apparently I can't. Yeah,
I-
I can't talk
yeah.
today. So, yep. One of those things where I don't know if I've seen the movie, but I clearly remember the cover. To this day, I still remember, like, for whatever reasons, the cover for Silence of the Lambs, the VHS cover, is so iconic at this point. Where like, I forget like how much some of these things stuck out to my head.
Yes, and William Catt was in the movie. Like I said he played Roger Cobb, the author. I said who lived in his aunt's house, who committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
going to the Blockbuster and looking at, seeing Silence of the Lambs or any movie on the shelf, when they had the whole section with, like 50 copies of Silence of the Lambs or anything, like that was fun. That was the iconic Blockbuster moment, is going, even if you didn't want to rent that movie, like you kind of remember seeing the hits of the time, right? Like in Silence of the Lambs was a big deal, even if it wasn't something that, we were going to watch.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
91 was Silence of the Lambs. I definitely did not watch that. Still haven't watched that.
And then I said Scott also knows another story. I said this goes back to basically when we were working a couple jobs ago, and I said I became obsessed. I said with trying to find
your cartoon,
Yes.
your Halloween
Yes.
cartoon,
my Halloween cartoon,
I remember
the
hearing this
Halloween
story.
tree, or
the
whatever.
Halloween tree. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I've never seen this damn movie, and I know the title of it and everything about it because of you.
anyways, yeah, so it was a messed up cartoon, literally really messed up for basically for kids, but it was basically put out by the same people that had they put Scooby-Doo out of it, right?
Nice.
But it's this messed up kids cartoon where so they had to give up pieces of their soul to save their friend, their friend's life. I don't know, it's pretty messed up. But like I said, I ended up actually finding it because it took me for it's one of those for the longest time I thought it was one of those movies where not Nightingale Effect, but
You're thinking Mandela Effect.
Mandela Effect, yes, the
The movie
Mandela
that
Effect.
you remember, but no one else
Because
remembers.
literally everyone I had talked to, they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah. I remember we had the discussion.
Yeah.
You said it was years ago that you're like, you guys remember that messed up movie, the Halloween tree? And I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you're like, no, it's just messed up cartoon with things like everyone's seen it, right? And nobody was like, dude, I've never seen this movie in my entire life.
1993 Hanna-Barbera.
yeah,
Yeah, no clue.
yeah. They
Yeah.
basically
I mean, you'll be happy to know that it is currently available on BarnesandNoble.com on DVD. So it's hit a wider release years after you were trying to hunt it down.
yeah. So then they basically travel through time and like I said, the ghost of their friend who's basically sick, you know, and like it ends up dying. But then like so they look at how Halloween used to be like in the olden days, and how Halloween is like in Mexico or something like that, and how Halloween is like in different parts of the world. Then it all comes back to like I said where this Grim Reaper guy basically ends up giving pieces. I said of their soul to save their friend who's dying. But like I said, for kids, it's kind of twisted for what it is
for a children's cartoon.
Yeah,
for a children's cartoon. But Ed, thank you, thank you, Ed. I know I'm not alone. Like I said, I appreciate that.
Yeah, Ed remembers it and owns it, which is cool. Yeah, it's not quite like
mainstream.
What's the Charlie Brown one called? Like it's not quite the Charlie Brown Halloween special or
Charlie
whatever.
Brown Christmas.
Yeah, but no, there's a Halloween one where
the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, that guy and Linus and I don't know that stuff. I don't know. Are there other Halloween movies? Probably not. Like cartoons.
Oh, not many.
Not really. It's
Monster House.
Maybe I don't know what that is.
Of course you don't.
Surprise.
Yeah, surprise. Larry has not seen a scary movie.
Or a scary cartoon.
I was saying to Jeremy, and Jeremy knows this about me, but like throughout October, I will sit and just constantly watch old ass horror movies, stupid crap. I got my wife to finally sit down and watch the entirety of the original Nightmare on Elm Street the other day. But then I put on something that she watched that she had never seen and was like, good God, this movie is fucked up. Last night we put on Event Horizon.
Great movie.
I have not seen this movie in forever. Found it. I think it's on HBO Max, I believe, is where it is. So don't quote me on that one. It might be on one of the other Hulu or Netflix.
Yeah,
I got them.
It's on a streaming service.
It's on a streaming service. You can find it streaming or wash your hands. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a wonderful horror movie that doesn't really like. So there's lots of gore and stuff like that, but it definitely doesn't rely on that as like the driving factor. Some of the scariest stuff and it's psychologically just fucked up, and it gets you like it gives anybody who doesn't watch that movie and gets some of the heebie-jeebies is lying. They got them right. Like it is a messed up movie, and it is great. I love that movie, and I always forget about it on my list of horror movies.
It's later than I would have guessed, right? 1997. Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill.
It's got was it Jason Isaacs?
Yeah, Jason Isaacs.
Yeah.
Great movie, like I said, and it's just like
it's got a good slow burn.
It's slow burn, and then it says just got some of the gory special effects, like right.
I mean, the thing of Jason Isaacs when he gets disemboweled and strung up from the ceiling, and it has one of the best like I'm dead and I know it scenes when the dude opens the thing and the bomb is counting down, and he just puts his head down in the explosion. Like they have so many good like deaths inside that, and there's a lot of just quick and you'll miss it, like a couple of scenes of like moments in hell that show up throughout the movie that just get to you because you kind of see what's going on. You're like, that was messed up, but I didn't get a good enough look, so you want to go back. It's great.
Yeah. The skinless Sam Neill with no eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he rips them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah, and it's good because it's a good mix of horror, sci-fi, right? Like I love the movie. I cannot tout it enough, but it's easily forgotten, right? Like I said,
I haven't heard anybody talk about that in a really long time.
Yeah, exactly.
I vaguely remember it even existing. I know the title. That's it.
Hey, what if a ship that invents a warp drive, when they warp, instead like the space in between dimensions that you travel when you do the like, you know,
when they fold space,
you actually travel through hell during that point, and oops, the ship gets stuck in there and becomes possessed.
Yeah. So another like
Jay Measy asked, "What movie are we talking about?" It's Event Horizon. Is the one that we're going over here, and it is chef's kiss. Love the movie. Yeah. So Larry, you haven't I know you're not a horror fan,
Nope.
but let's find out this one.
Yep.
If you had to guess, what is your favorite horror movie? Do you
What
have
is
one?
my favorite horror
Yeah,
movie?
like if you're like, if I'm gonna watch a horror movie, it's
No, probably not. I feel like we talked about this like last week or 2 weeks ago. Like I'm trying to think of the horror movies I've seen. Like I had the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre on DVD for some reason.
You've watched like
it's-
8 horror movies. How hard is
Yeah,
it
I
to pick
know.
your favorite?
But see, that's where I'm going. I'm like Jason X and like Freddy versus Jason. Those are the ones that I know I've seen. I remember
Jason
those
X
being
is
okay.
great.
Yeah, I
Jason
remember those being
Jason
okay.
Jason X is so bad it's good. It
Yeah.
goes into that category of like it's no longer a horror movie, it's a comedy.
No, like I like some literally my favorite part of Jason X is when they turn on the little holodeck thing. Like the girls take off their tops and then they're like, "Hey, do you want to go around having casual sex? And Dave, do you want to smoke some you want to do drugs?" And then he puts them both in the beanbag on the sleep bags and he continues to beat him against the tree.
So you disappoint me, Larry, because I can just spout off tons.
That's what I got. I remember seeing Leprechaun in the Hood.
I made you watch Leprechaun.
So I hadn't seen the first one, but I had seen Leprechaun in the Hood for reasons.
With Stray Bullet and his crew.
Yeah, like I remember that one was pretty good at the time. I don't know. Do you remember the Hip Hop Witch? I saw that. Hold please.
I gotta look this up.
Yes,
this is a movie I haven't seen.
I believe it's DA Hip Hop Witch.
Okay, so here's what I need you to do.
Yeah.
Netflix. Go on there. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I've never seen Killer Clowns.
It is available on Netflix. Please watch at least that.
Wait,
okay,
Eminem is in a horror movie?
Yeah, I don't think he's in it a lot, but he's clearly like somebody made a new poster, right? Like when it came out on DVD, and he's on the cover.
How did I not know about this?
Yeah,
Eminem. Wait, and Eminem plays himself.
Yeah,
and Vanilla Ice is there.
Yep, yep. It was clearly like a ripoff of Blair Witch Project. Like it was around that same time, because it was 2000, right? The year 2000. Yeah. There you go. That's my contribution to the horror episode.
I know what I'm watching later tonight.
The Hip Hop Witch.
Larry, have you at least seen Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2?
I don't.
Trash Day.
Never even heard of that.
No, I said you know what my favorite movie that Larry has seen that I know he's seen because he had to watch it for the podcast.
Troll 2.
No, Thanksgiving.
Oh
yeah, that was a good one too.
You've just been stuffed.
That's a throwback.
That's the first Halloween episode that we did. We made Larry watch Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That
there
was
are
fun.
so
That was
many
a good movie.
good.
I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's a good movie.
Good.
I almost watched Nightmare on Elm Street this week. I thought about it, and I just kept
recommend
watching
it.
videos.
Oh, something.
I want to. I started watching Hocus Pocus. I started watching Hocus Pocus today. I know it's not horror, but it's another Halloween type movie that I've never seen. I didn't make it very far. I fell asleep. That was my afternoon. I fell asleep watching Hocus Pocus.
So here's what I want you to go watch. So this is an obscure one. Jeremy, I know you've probably seen it because I know you're a fan. It stars everyone's favorite crazy man, Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
Please watch Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Oh yeah.
Where it follows him. It's him, like the horror movie just told from the serial killer's point of view. Yeah, please go watch that.
Wait, what's it called?
It's called Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. I don't know where it's available streaming. You need to find it, rent it, do whatever. Ed might have it. He's got the biggest.
I actually think I might have it.
You might have if you have it. I want Larry to watch.
Oh, it's you can watch it on Peacock.
Peacock, perfect. It is absolutely messed up movie. It is a great movie to watch for horror, and it's one of the ones that I'm like, I will break you. I will make you watch this movie, and I will break you.
I do like Michael Rooker.
It's a young Michael Rooker too.
Yeah.
When it came out, so originally it was given an X rating.
Really?
Then they tried to re-release it again as an uncut version. And that they flat out were like, that it's too much for that. You cannot put this movie out in its uncut version. Like, it is messed up to the nth degree.
Well, it's like because they did that same thing. Like I said, Scott, Scott, you've had to have seen this movie. I said, and if you haven't, you need to go and watch this.
I'm
Have you
listening.
seen Maniac?
Maniac, good. Yes.
With Elijah Wood? Like,
Yeah.
That movie's fucked up.
Yeah. Okay, so the other one I need you to watch, and I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube, but if not, we'll find it. Jeremy, I know you've watched this because we talked about this one. There is a movie in which the actors had to go to court to prove that the things that happened in the movie were actually done via special effects and they didn't really kill people in the movie. So one of the dead actors had to show up to court to be like, look, I'm still alive.
Okay.
I
Here,
didn't
guys.
die in that scene. It's Cannibal Holocaust. Like, to the point, like, it is so, it was like the original, I don't know if it was the original, but it was the first real major movie of like, holy shit, this is fucked up. Like, we're just gonna just brutally murder these people for no good reason. Now, they did maybe kill some local wildlife on camera.
They may have killed a couple sea
Some
turtles.
sea turtles and some other things.
Snakes
Also,
and stuff.
in this, to kind of bring up that gross factor, right? Eli Roth did a recent homage / remake thing called Green Inferno. You can also watch that. It achieves the same purpose, but Cannibal Holocaust is definitely a much better. And it was one of the first found footage horror movies, right? It's
Yeah.
the first time that they kind of did it as like, oh, this documentary crew dies, and we find this footage, and we're going to show you this process, which I think led to the fact that the courts were like, well, prove that you didn't die.
Right. So this is like, so this is a good segue, right?
I want to say, Jamie's brings up a good point. Would you consider Green Inferno a horror flick? It's a wild movie too. So I think, again, this is something Jeremy and I have been talking about horror movies all day, which is what kind of led to this. So
this was my segue. This is my segue.
Hey.
This was it. Was it?
This
All
was
right.
just, yeah. Just because of the question we were gonna, I was gonna segue, right? I said, is there, because there's a difference between like, hey, movies that are meant to be horror movies and movies that are scary just because they're messed up and they're fucked up.
So
Right?
I throw them all under the horror category.
Yeah.
But there is two distinct ones. There is, to your point, there is scary, and then holy shit, right?
Like psychological messed up horror.
Right, and that goes into anything from like, what was it, The Cube, right? Like psychologically messed up, but kind of gory and shock. Went for shock versus scare, right?
Mhm.
But then you have also things like Hostel, which are just like, we want to show you people being fucked up, like, and they get to you. And I very much enjoy those.
So yeah, no, one of my movies that I was talking to Scott right before the podcast, right, is like I said, is actually a Paul Walker movie.
Hey.
I said the movie Running Scared. Like, it is, like I said, there's one specific scene in this movie, right, of where, like I said, especially I said if you're a parent, right? I said I'm not a parent, right, but it's still got to me. I'm like, man, it's pretty messed up. To where, like I said, the kid, they're going out and they're like they find these other kids like, hey, we're going out for ice cream, and they end up drugging them. I'm gonna spoil it because Larry, you're never.
I think I've seen it. I'm not sure.
Where the parents, the parents who find this other kid, they end up actually being like these, like they put these kids. Oh yeah, here's a playroom. Go and play. But then he like opens up the thing and there's like body bags and saws and stuff like. So basically, it's this nice kids like playroom. But then that's where they actually go and like just like freaking murdering off all the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Interesting.
Great movie.
But yeah, so there is definitely a difference between like horror movies and like the gory ones. So I put like one of my favorite scary movies, less on the gore, but still has a little bit, right? Like I think that there's some crossover. But you have Alien, right, as the first one. That was one of the best paced horror movies ever. Yeah, right.
What
But
do you
like
do?
it's paced. You don't know what's gonna happen. Like there was chest bursting.
Yeah, I know, I got it. I'm just thinking like audio wise, that was weird.
People are like, what the
I don't know
fuck was
what's
that
happening
noise? Jeremy
right now.
was imitating getting chest bursted.
Yes,
I was
sure.
imitating my chest.
Yeah,
bursting.
bursting. So much bursting.
So there's burst all over there.
No. Alien was a horrible movie.
Yeah, no, you are a liar. And just an all around.
No, I'm not a
awful,
liar. I
awful
have
person.
I have a horrible taste in movies. We'll go with that.
All right. Well, okay. So if you don't, what is the thing you're most scared of, Larry? Like, so like, well, as a kid, when you were growing up, right? Like, so what was the thing you were most scared? So if it wasn't a movie, right? Like, so what was the thing you were most scared of? Like I said, was there a monster? Like literally, my nightmare recurring was getting basically burned up by hot lava running down a mountain. Like that's
Really?
yeah, that's literally was my nightmare that I had, a recurring nightmare that I had where I was getting chased down basically a mountain by hot lava and I was going to burn up and die.
That's crazy. No, I don't think I had anything like that.
Mine was a
Is that
Slender
weird?
Man. Yeah, mine was like a Slender Man-esque like monster that was going to drag me away.
No,
Like, that was the horror.
no monsters. Maybe because I wasn't watching crazy movies. I did not have reoccurring nightmares. I still
You-
don't.
Were you scared of
Pretty
everything?
sure.
Are you just a sociopath?
No.
Are you
No.
are you actually the serial killer?
They're just. There is the guy that goes to like the theme park on Halloween that has like the haunted houses that they have set up, and you walk right by the entrance and don't go into the haunted house. Like I can tell that about Larry.
So I don't know if it's so I know I've been to one haunted house. It's fairly ridiculous too. So we took a trip to Pennsylvania, like East Coast, in October, and I went to a haunted house it's an abandoned prison. It was the Eastern State Penitentiary. It's like from the 1800s. That scared me pretty good, but it really wasn't. It wasn't because like things were scary. It's because the people jumped out at you, and it's dark and you cannot see them. So all of a sudden, a person is jumping out at you. That I did not like. But I was like full on adult at that point. But yeah, that's like that might be the only haunted house kind of thing I went to. I'm not sure. Just not my thing.
No, there's
I am so sad for you. There are so many good.
I mean, I'm
movies
not.
right up your alley. Larry needs to watch Brain Dead, which is one of like Peter Jackson's like first movies. You know, the Lord of the Rings guys has a ridiculous horror movie from 1992.
like, are you kidding me? Like, so at some point in time, like,
Don't even know
so.
what it is.
Scott, have you heard of McCamey Manor before?
Mm-mm. Is that
Okay.
something down here? Is there a scary house down here?
No. Okay. So
Or is it the
at some point in time, and so this will also everybody in the audience too. Like I said, at some point in time, just YouTube McCamey Manor. So basically, it's this guy who basically runs this haunted house. You literally have to sign, like I said, you're like a whole bunch of different waivers and stuff like that. They literally will go and they'll kidnap you and they'll torture you and they'll bring you into this
I
haunted
didn't know
house.
that's what it's called, but I've heard of that one where
Yeah.
they actually like you agree to like
Like you agree to
They
like
will
basically be
physically assault
tortured.
you.
They will physically assault you. They will like it's like this crazy thing.
Yeah.
And so basically he films all these interactions too. And so they're all over YouTube. But yeah, it's just like I said, he takes in one group at a time. It's like a small group, and you literally have to basically, unless you sign the waiver. Like I said, I think the most someone's been able to last is like 20 something minutes, like in this haunted house because it's so extreme.
The pictures on the Google image search are quite disturbing.
Yeah.
To know
Yes.
that those are like real people who are like, yeah, I want to go do this on the weekend.
Yeah.
if we ever get a chance, I would love to go and see how long we could go into. I don't know if I'd pass the time frame. I don't think I would.
Yeah,
But,
but
like, I would love to go in there and give it a shot.
McCamey Manor. Yeah, these are
That's
all
fun.
these are all real people.
Oh no, we're doing it as a group.
I mean,
Where-
as
where
a
is it?
podcast, where is it at? I think it's in Tennessee,
Oh, okay.
so it's close enough, right?
Yeah, grand scheme of things. Tennessee isn't that far.
Summertown, Tennessee.
Okay. Sounds fun.
Yeah, but it is.
Go to Nashville, go to Knoxville, see the Sun Sphere, and then we'll go get tortured.
Let's just put it this way: all these videos are age restricted. You have to basically sign into YouTube. You actually have to physically sign into YouTube to see them.
So for anybody who looks, I just looked it up to see where it was at. Apparently, no one's ever actually like you said. Everyone's always given up at a certain point and got there. There is actually a prize. It's a $20,000 prize if you can go through the whole thing. And no one's ever claimed it, but it's there.
Interesting. I feel like somebody would not care about that stuff enough and could just, breeze through it. I don't know.
God, it's year round too. So that means somebody's job is like their full-time job is to go get in some horror makeup and scare the living shit out of people.
Like, it's nuts.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah. McCamey Manor, though, like, so definitely check out the videos because the videos are pretty insane.
Crazy.
Because, like, so the guy will come out. So the guy who I forgot what the guy's name is, but he's been doing it for years. He comes out. He's like, "Hey, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do this?" And then, like, the funniest ones are like the couples that go because the husband will always convince like the wife, "Oh, you got to do this too. You got to do this too." And then, like, so the husband like just tapping out like, "I'm done. I can't do it anymore." I went on it was like I said, I found that it was a YouTube rabbit hole one day where I just like went through and just started watching McCamey Manor YouTube videos. But yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So
you know what else is amazing?
So before you go to that, apparently I'm looking at this. People have been like, as part of the thing, to move forward, they're like, you have to pull teeth, like their own tooth, and they'll literally pull teeth out of people's heads. Like
that's a commitment right there.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah.
So Jeremy, I ruined a segue for bingo.
You did. Well done.
Let's everyone, let's do our thing.
I don't even know what Jeremy's going to say.
I don't know. I was going to say, you know what all sounds good?
Yeah, you should follow us on Instagram at STS Guys. And hey, guess what? We're on Twitter at STS Guys. And we're also on Facebook at the STS Guys. So meta. And I am Larry from the STS Guys.
Chilling like a villain.
Chilling like a villain.
Ding, 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 diggy, ding, ding. Ding, 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 diggy, ding, ding.
And even more awesome is buying Funko Pops at shumistore.com. That's right. If you go to shumistore.com, you can save 10% on Funko Pops, and they get that mint box guarantee because Shumi Store is awesome. That's right. Shumistore.com. Enter code STS Guys. You're going to save 10%. And then you probably need some new licensed t-shirts. You need some new black licensed t-shirts because you can't go to Buc-ee's because you don't live in Texas, unless you're Jay and Easy. Go to animatedapparelcompany.com. Enter code STS Guys. You're going to get yourself some licensed t-shirts for 10% off, and you're going to get free shipping. Animated Apparel Company. It's the best.
It's the best.
I butchered that one. But you like podcasts? We've got some friends who have podcasts.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Check out our podcast family, like Talkin' Pops, Pop Collectors Alliance, The Dorksmen, Geek Together, Secondary Heroes, The Average Nerd Podcast, Nerdy Curious, Movie Retakes, The Toy Rewind Podcast, 3 Beers and a Mic, Just a Little Podcast, The Totally Rad Movie Podcast, It's Not Dead Yet. And Nate, he's not here, but I guarantee you he recorded a Figure Booth podcast before he went out of town. So go check out Josh and Nate on the Figure Booth. New episode should drop on Sunday, I think. Monday, Sunday, one day. Just go Spotify it.
And since you said it, Larry.
Yeehaw!
Texas.
Well done. You missed a Texas earlier, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I said Texas like 6 times.
Yeah, I
did.
I was trying to get you to push the button.
It took an hour and 8 minutes.
That's
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Because I haven't done it yet. So, all right.
So, I think we're missing next week, right?
Yes.
No podcast next week.
Yeah. So
it is.
This is the time of the year where historically we miss weeks.
It is.
Forget what's happened the last like 6 months, but it's the holidays. Things are happening. Used to be holiday parties. Remember when we used to have holiday parties to go to like in early December?
Always on the weekend.
That's never going to happen again.
So cool.
At least not for a while.
So, well, with that depressing news, Jeremy, take us out.
For episode 193 on this very special Halloween's Eve episode, I've been Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
And I'm Scott.
We're the STS guys. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye.